my name is Mindy from moretimetoWrite.com, and this is a brief tutorial on using Google Alerts to automate your research. A Google Alert is an email from Google notifying you of new information that's been added to the internet about a topic that you specify. You'll set up the alert once, and then Google will email you every time some new information is added to the internet about that topic, and you can cancel the alert at any time if you no longer need it. The easiest way to explain this is to show you. So we're going to go to google.com/alerts, and you'll need to be signed into your Google account. In the search query box, you want to enter the thing that you'd like to be notified about. Some general ideas, unless you have a very common name like Jeff Smith, you are going to want to set up an alert for your name. I have Google Alerts set up both for Mindy Holohan and then for my full name, Melinda Holohan, so that I'll know if I'm mentioned in a blog post or news article that Google indexes. I'd recommend setting up alerts for your personal name, your company name, your blog name, or the name of your book or your podcast. But let's examine how to use Google Alerts for research purposes. I'm going to use the 2024 Olympics as an example. Let's say I'm writing a blog all about the bidding process for the Summer Olympics, and I want to stay on top of current information. I'll set up a handful of alerts to keep me up to date on all of those developments. So in the search query box, I am going to start with Olympics 2024. And you could see this is giving me an example of the newest results that Google has for Olympics 2024 on the side. And I can choose to search everything, or if I wanted to be more specific, let's say I only wanted what Google considers news outlets like CNN, the New York Times, that sort of site. I could select news, and you see if I do that, I don't have any results for today. Alternately, I can choose just blogs, video. Discussions would be discussion boards like Yahoo group discussions, or anything that's set up in a discussion board type format. If Google recognizes that it's a discussion board, it'll get categorized as this. And then books would be Google's book searches. I want to know about everything, at least for now, until maybe as I get closer to the Olympics, then I might want to specify only news. But for right now, I want everything. I want to know if some blogger halfway across the world is writing about their city's attempt to secure the 2024 Olympics. I'm going to go with once a day. I also have the option of just as soon as Google finds it, or once a week. Once a day is good for right now. I'm going to stick with only the best results. That is what Google considers the top results, and I want that for right now. And then I have the option of either delivering that alert to my personal email address, which is what I'm going to choose, but if I wanted to, I could set up a feed, and then I could just put the search results into my news reader instead, like my Google Reader, and that way I can read the results as I have time rather than having them pushed to my email. So I'm going to go with Olympics 2024, and I'm going to create the alert, and you'll see over here it's giving me a list of all of my current alerts. On this account, this is the only one I have. I can come in here at any time to edit it. Let's make another alert. Now, in my blog about the 2024 Summer Olympics, let's say I am specifically focused on the Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul, Minnesota, getting the Olympics. I live there, and I want to know if they're putting out a bid. Now, there some of the talk might not specify the year, but it just might talk about the Olympics coming to the Twin Cities. So I'm going to create a second alert that is Olympics, and so now I have a choice to make. I could say Twin Cities, but there's some other pairs of cities that are also sometimes called the Twin Cities. Minneapolis and St. Paul are the most common, but maybe a better choice would be Minneapolis. because anytime you mention the Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul tend to be spelled out. So I am going to go with Olympics Minneapolis. Now I could come back and do a separate alert for Olympics Twin Cities, but it's probably going to duplicate the results of Olympics Minneapolis, so I would be getting 2 emails with all of the same search results. So I'm just going to go with Olympics Minneapolis. I'm going to go with the same information, and I am going to create the alert. And then again, if I wanted to, I could have published that to a feed instead that I could have stuck in my Google Reader. In fact, let's see what that looks like. Let's go to Edit. And we are going to change the deliver to, and we're going to go feed, and we're going to hit save. And now what it gives me is a feed that I can click on, and it is going to my Google Reader because I use Google Reader. I want to show you an example of what a Google Alert email looks like. This is an alert I had sent to my personal email address about my name. And so this was triggered by a blog post that I wrote that had my name in it, and I got an email letting me know something new was published to the internet with the name Mindy Holohan, and it happens to be something that I wrote, but this is what your alert is going to look like. It's pretty small. It just gives you a link to click on. Now, if at some point I find that I'm getting too many emails, or I am no longer interested in the 2024 Olympics or whatever I've set up here, I can just come into Edit, and I can, oh, sorry, actually that was the wrong thing. We're going to hit cancel there. I am going to put a check mark next to them both, and I am going to hit delete. And that will make the Google alerts go away, and I'll stop getting emails. Again, the Google alerts are a great way to stay on top of something that you care about over the long term. Either you're writing about a topic or it's about you and your business. For more tips, as well as virtual assistant services for writers, bloggers, and podcasters, go to moretimetoWrite.com.